Senate Transportation Committee meeting of the session. We have several bills on the agenda today. We'll get started right away. Madam Clerk, if you don't mind, please call the roll.
Senator Byrd. Senator Embry.
Here.
Senator Hornback.
Okay, we don't have to do minutes.
Senator Smith. Senator Turner. Here. Senator Wheeler. Here. Senator Wilson. Senator Wise. Here. Senator Yates. Chairman Higdon.
Here.
Chairman Storm.
Here.
Yes. We have a quorum. Like I said, we have 4 bills on the agenda today. We're going to go a little bit out of order. First bill up is Senate Bill 91, which I happen to be the sponsor. So I'll turn the meeting over to now Chairman Storm.
Thank you, Senator Higdon. The floor is yours at your leisure.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And as usual, I failed to do something. I wanted to introduce a guest this morning. Behind me is Matt Denine. I get it right one of these days. Senator-elect from the 10th Senatorial District, Hardin County and part of Jefferson. I'd say future Senator-elect. So he has filed to run and had no opposition. So just want to welcome him to our meeting this morning. Matt, if you don't mind, stand up. Everybody know who you are there. Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, Senate Bill 91 is a very, 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 very simple bill. It's extremely simple. This bill simply gives Kentucky auto dealers the ability to sell vehicles via the internet. And as we all know, I don't know what the percentage of vehicles being sold in America today via the internet, but the percentage is very high and growing. And the bill, the bill simply, with an established place of business, an auto dealer may conduct sales activities via the internet and deliver vehicles sold or leased by the licensed dealer to a customer at the customer's residence or other suitable location, as long as the sale, lease, or deliver is requested by the customer. And it just gives, it kind of levels the playing field for our auto dealers in Kentucky.
We have a motion and a second on the bill. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Byrd. Senator Embry. Senator Hornback. Senator Smith. Senator Turner. Senator Wheeler. Senator Wilson. Senator Wise. Senator Yates. Senator Higdon.
Aye.
Chairman Storm.
Aye. On a vote of 8-0, this will be reported favorably. Same shall pass.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator. At this time, we'll go to Senate Bill 119. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Senate Bill 119 is a bill that you've heard about for the last couple of years. Last year, as Chairman of the Transportation Committee and in conjunction with Representative Upchurch, we suspended all the road namings so we could get a handle on road namings in Kentucky. And we wanted when we name a road after a deceased person in Kentucky, we want it to be an honor, not just something that we do routinely or haphazardly. We want it to be an honor for that person that is an honor to have a road named after a person that's done significant things for the community or the state. And in the letter that you received earlier this year, talking about what we had decided to do with road naming, it mentioned that we would do some statutory changes, a couple statutory changes they're fairly simple, and those changes include the process by which Kentucky State Police and the Kentucky Department of Transportation memorialize fallen state troopers killed in the line of duty will remain unchanged under KRS Chapter 16. The General Assembly shall be the only entity responsible for all other permanent bridge or highway designations, and the Kentucky Department of Transportation shall be responsible for the placement of all temporary honorary signage, which shall be based upon a request by a city, county, school board, and the petitioner shall bear the cost of the signage. Mr. Chairman, that's the bill, plain and simple. And like I said, it's something that it's been out there for quite a while, and we're going to codify this in the Kentucky statute.
Are there any questions on the bill? Senator Smith.
Yes, I do. Senator Higdon, thank you for bringing this bill. Just a couple of remarks and then a quick question. I've seen, this program be successful, and I've seen it be sort of abused. And some of my counties have got, signs up that are pretty, standardized. And then some counties will come through and they'll be 20 feet high or off the side of the bridge or different colors or whatever. And I think you're right. If we're going to honor somebody, it ought to be more, maybe professional, or have some sort of standard of what the height should be and kind of color design, so it's more uniform. But I can drive across many places in my district, and it just there's no rhyme or reason to some of them. So I do appreciate what you're trying to do to sort of standardize that, and hope that's part of the intent with this. But I did notice that the last line on page 3, line 26, we are, by this bill, going to name the Dick Castle bypass after former Representative Dick Castle. Now, are we going to put if other namings in this bill, or is this just one that was where they'd worked on it, I guess, or is this?
Senator Smith, that's existing language in current law.
Okay.
I don't know how long ago that was done, but it's, everything that's in this bill is underlined, and I saw that also, and I asked about it in its existing language. It's in current bill today.
Okay. All right. That's all I had. Just
Any more questions
about that? Thank you.
We have a motion on the bill. Do we have a second? Second, Senator Turner. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Berg. Senator Embry. Senator Hornback. Senator Smith. Senator Turner. Senator Wheeler. Senator Wilson. Senator Wise. Senator Yates. Senator Higdon.
Aye.
Chairman Storm.
Aye.
8-0-1. Passes.
8-0-1. That will be reported favorably. Same shall pass. Thank you, Senator.
Mr.
Sir,
Chairman.
could I amend my vote? I am so sorry. I wasn't even sure which one we were discussing. I am an aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's fine. 9-0-0.
9-0. That will be reported favorably. Same shall pass. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. And I had to go to another committee meeting, and Mr. Chairman, you enjoy your first meeting as chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I'm very proud of you, and you're doing a marvelous job. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. At this time, we'll call Senate Bill 49. Senator Alvarado, please introduce yourself and any guests, and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Ralph Alvarado, State Senate 28th District. I want to thank you all for the opportunity to present Senate Bill 49. This is a bill that has come about due to multiple constituent requests and concerns regarding uninsured motorists. I'm sure all of you have heard stories of individuals who have harmed or have been harmed in an accident by a motorist who's uninsured. I'm going to read to you an excerpt from an email that I've received from one of those constituents. It says here, I, as a citizen of Kentucky, am furious due to the epidemic of non-insured motorists on Kentucky's highways. I was rear-ended 2 weeks ago by a person with no car insurance. I was taken to the hospital, examined, and luckily had no major injuries. It was close to $6,000 worth of damage to my car, plus the medical bills totaling to around $25,000 or more. Luckily, I had full coverage insurance on my car. I would have been out $25,000 personally. Our state government is negligent in protecting the law-abiding citizens of Kentucky because there's nothing in Kentucky law that guarantees the at-fault driver truly has liability insurance to cover the damages he causes through a car wreck. This is the part that concerns me. The only proactive step taken by the state of Kentucky when it is informed that a vehicle is not properly insured according to the AVIS system is to revoke the registration of that vehicle. That's it. According to the information I've read, is the county attorney isn't even notified of a revocation of the registration unless it has been revoked 3 times within a 12-month period. So according to the current status of Kentucky motor vehicle law, I can stop paying my insurance for my car, and not until 90 days later, 2 months of no insurance showing on my vehicle through AVIS and 30 days notice required by KRS 186A040, will the registration for my vehicle be revoked. Therefore, unless I am pulled over and issued a citation, I won't be subject to criminal prosecution for no insurance, so I can renew my license plate just before it expires and effectively save money by not having to pay for car insurance for approximately 9 months. To me, this is a dangerous Kentucky uninsured driver loophole. This email, conversations I've had from other folks, brought a lot of concern for me. And we've heard these stories for many years now in Kentucky, and people keep asking for something to be done. And so this bill is an attempt to do that. Current law requires that a car owner to have insurance at the time of registration with the county clerk. The problem lies with people who purchase 1 month's worth of car insurance, register their vehicles, and then cancel their policy. Insurance companies report their book of business to DOT every month. This is then cross-checked with VIN, or vehicle identification numbers, to determine who has dropped their insurance. There's a grace period permitted for people who may be changing insurance companies or just had forgotten payment for a month. And by month 3 or 4, the Department of Transportation then notifies the motorist that they are not insured and then submits a notification that if not updated in 30 days, the Department of Transportation shall revoke the registration of the vehicle until a person presents proof of insurance and pays the reinstatement fee. This can occur 3 times within a 12-month period under current law before a county attorney can step in and take action. And basically, it disallows county attorneys from ever taking action because as the year goes by, it gets renewed the following year. So Senate Bill 49 removes the 3 times within 12 months and allows county attorneys to act more quickly upon that first notification that they can then act and prosecute individuals who are not paying their insurance on their vehicles. There's also a Senate committee substitute, Mr. Chairman. Maybe you'd like to take action on that.
This time I'd like to entertain a motion to adopt the sub. We got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, say nay. Anyone opposed? The sub is adopted.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The language in the sub is a request from the Department of Transportation. It provides the reinstatement fee for a revoked registration of $50 with a breakdown as noted in the bill before you. $20 would go to the county clerk, $20 to the Department of Vehicle Registration, $10 to Kentucky State Police or law enforcement. It also references existing statute that allows law enforcement to confiscate license plates of vehicles with revoked registration. That's effectively the bill. I know this has been proposed many years ago we've got individuals here who are former state representatives who have filed this bill in the past. So I'm bringing it forward again, and hopefully we can take action on this and help address this problem in the Commonwealth.
I think Senator Wheeler had a question.
Senator Alvarado, I appreciate you bringing this bill. I do think it's one that's necessary. One concern I have had with discussion with one of our colleagues is the process by of notifying, I guess, the Department of Transportation in the event that you say have a seasonal vehicle. I know my father-in-law has a Jeep that sits in the garage through the winter. Around April, he'll call, have it added to his insurance, and then he'll pull it off September, October, and put it back in the garage. Have you discussed with the cabinet maybe the possibility of some type of e-portal or something that would allow this to be done quickly once you get your notification? Because I could see where the process could be cumbersome, or perhaps some forms in the county clerk's office where, drawing up an affidavit, I mean, it does seem a rather lawyerly exercise if we had some basic forms mandated in the legislation, or an e-portal where you can get online and maybe click one of the 4 exceptions and sign at the bottom so that it could be done more efficiently. Would you entertain an amendment to that effect?
I mean, I have to take a look at it. I mean, I would entertain any changes to it, but I'm not aware of any. I haven't had any discussions as far as any e-portals, seasonal vehicles, anything like that. Most of the problems that we're hearing from constituents are people that have routine vehicles that they will have on the road, and we know the routine. I mean, typically we would pay for a monthly fee towards paying for our car insurance. People will do it, sign up, stop paying for 11 months, and then when they're due to do it again the following year, they'll pay another month, stop paying for 11 months, keep paying for it. But I'm if you have an idea about
And
e-portals,
I totally agree with you. I
Yeah.
just noticed that if you look on page, I think it's under subsection 2A, there are the 4 exceptions mentioned, and it says that one, that the person has paid presented the proof of interest to county clerk. The second one is notifying them that the vehicle is inoperable, perhaps in storage. And third, person presents proof in the form of an affidavit stating that the vehicle is seasonal in nature. And then I think the fourth is that I guess the vehicle is belongs to his employer or something like that. So, I would think under those circumstances, just, so that the person wouldn't possibly have to see a lawyer to draw up an affidavit or something, it might make some sense to have some a basic affidavit form in the clerk's office or an e-portal where they could just get on there and click, and might make the legislation operate a little bit more smoothly, I would think.
Sure, that's all. I know that's all existing language, but sure, I'd be open to that.
Thank you, sir.
Senator Turner had a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I hate to ask some questions, but I think I need to. And Senator, I'm sure you probably are not aware of this, or may be, but it's my understanding that a lot of cities have this ordinance or rules, at least in the counties I live in, that says if a automobile is inoperable, it can't be parked on the city streets. So if a coal miner should get disabled and all he has this truck for is driving, his wife drives a car to work and back and forth every day, and they don't continue the insurance, or we had all those thousands of people that was laid off last year that couldn't buy food unless pay insurance on the car, they had nowhere to go. This would provide then that their ownership of that vehicle, even they own it, pay the taxes on it, because the insurance got canceled, the state police or another organization could come and seize the tag, and then the city could make them take that off of the street if that's true. Would that be correct?
That's already current law, that the state police have the right, if there's a revoked registration, if you take a look at the referenced statute, that's already in law. It's KRS 186181 already allows state police to do that currently.
And then all those people that weren't able to work and things, the vehicles would have to be moved off the streets and whatever. There's no exception to that. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, it depends if the state police can do it. They're not required to. It's not a shall, it's a may. So if law enforcement says, hey, this is parked in an area that needs to be removed, and hey, it doesn't have any registration, they could confiscate the tag and probably have the vehicle moved anyway, depending on the situation. But that's already current existing statute. We're not adding that statute. That's already what state police can do if your car is not registered.
Well, but Senator Red Wheeler read some exception to that, did he not?
Yeah.
Okay. And my question is, but all those people that I'm naming would have been people that could have lost their tags because of government shutdown, the governor not providing unemployment insurance, which would have provided them funds to pay their taxes and insurance on that car. Mm-hmm. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, there's lots of circumstances, Senator, that people could have that if they don't pay their insurance, lots of economic situations, even the current ones, some things in the future potentially. If they're driving those vehicles around without insurance and they hurt somebody, that other individual also could be having economic tough times. So what if they got hit by someone with another vehicle that didn't have that? I mean, they would be suffering also. So I understand what you're saying. Tough times can be tough for a lot of folks around the state. But if you're wanting to drive a vehicle in the state of Kentucky, we require by our laws for people to have that vehicle insured to protect other people, as well as people inside your own vehicle. So if you're referencing current statute, if they don't have that vehicle registered, they buy that car, they pay their taxes, and they don't register the vehicle, and they park it on the side of the road, and the same thing can happen for them in that situation.
But if we don't fix some exception, isn't it true, to like Senator Wheeler and some others, the government caused that problem last year, and they would be punished by Government Act by their tags being seized, couldn't drive their car, have to get it off of the street. All those things would have been caused by unemployment not being taken care of. So don't you think we should fix the statute so that there are some exceptions that would take care of government problems and other problems, since the people that own that pay the taxes on it, and for some reason that may be very legitimate reason, but we're making it illegal by statute, even there are some legitimate ones, that we should have some exceptions filed with your bill. You have any problem with that?
I mean, I'm not sure that's a statement or a question. It's a pretty lengthy comment there, so it depends on the details of what's being proposed. I mean, I'd be happy to take a look at anything you want to propose. This bill's been out there for 5 weeks, Mr. Chairman. It's been out there for quite a while for commentary and for issues, so if there's desires for other aspects of things you want to do, happy to take a look at proposals.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's
Any
all.
further questions? Oh, Senator Berg has a question.
Thank you, sir. Just a quick question from personal experience. I have had periods of time where I've owned, honestly, too many cars. And what my insurance company told me that I could do is, if we're going to use one, let's say a kid comes home from college and we're going to use a car, I can call them that morning, put insurance on it for the week or two that that kid is home, and then take the insurance off. How does this fit into that scheme? I mean, how do people keep up with what I'm doing legally under these new rules? Do you understand?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, let's say if you wanted to say you got a car sitting in a garage, it has a license plate, I would imagine. So it's been registered at some point in time. If there's no active registry, for you to register that vehicle every year, you have to have proof of insurance. If you say I'm only going to buy insurance for 1 month, and then let the insurance lapse after that, or use it for a short period of time, then the registration can't be active for the vehicle. I mean, you can have it revoked. Is the situation there? So if you want to have,
my insurance company would allow me, since I had a number of other cars on the policy, to just add or drop on without notice. I mean, I could just call them and say, put insurance on the car, I'm going to be using it. And then I could call them and say, take insurance off the car, I'm not using it anymore. But that didn't affect the registration. I mean, the car still sat in my driveway.
yeah. So if your vehicle's, again, that's what I described earlier in my comments, is if you have the car registered, what's required by state law is to have insurance on the vehicle. If you have it for a month and then you don't keep it up for whatever reason, you discontinue it, you let it go, that the book of business that the insurance companies have get reported to the state every month. And so they'll say, this one had insurance, now it no longer has insurance anymore. So then DOT will have that. They typically give us about 3 months period, because people might switch insurance. There might be different things that go on. So by month 3 or 4, they notify your local county clerk, this vehicle is no longer, it's registered, doesn't have insurance on it. So it would allow, state police could, I mean, if you have it parked in a garage or parked it somewhere where it's not being used, I don't think that state police or law enforcement is going to come on your property to take the tags from it. They can. I mean, suppose if it's on a public area, they find that it's you don't have active registration, they can remove the tags by current state law. What this is going to say is that if you don't have it at that point in time, either you need to let county clerk not have the vehicle registered at some point, but if you still have it actively registered, it's technically breaking the law if you don't have insurance on that vehicle as far as being used. So that's what current law is for the state, effectively. So people are saying, I'm going to have it for a month and then take it away. We need probably a card. If they want it to be registered and be compliant with the law, you have to have insurance on the vehicle. Because at some point, if somebody jumps in it, uses it, something along those lines, again, we have a lot of issues with this across the state. It's a much bigger problem. I don't nearly hear people saying, oh, I haven't paid insurance. Someone might come in and take care of it, because there's no repercussions for that right now. So we're trying to say, hey, if you have a vehicle, it's registered with the state, you need to have insurance. If you're not going to use it, then don't use it. They don't get it insured at that point.
Senator Alvarado, I believe we have the cabinet online. Do they have any comments regarding any of these questions? Can you hear us?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I think.
Can you please state your name for the record?
My name is Godwin Onodu, and I'm the director for the Division of Motor Vehicle Licensing. Thank you for having me, and thank you for the question. I think in answer to the question of you have many vehicles and they are parked in your garage, and one of your children is coming home from either school or vacation, and you want to register that vehicle for the period of time that your child is going to be at home to use the vehicle, that will actually qualify under the seasonal vehicle exemption. That once you contact your insurance company and they insure it, and you start driving that vehicle on the road, then that vehicle is fully insured.
Thank you. Senator Wheeler may have a follow-up question.
I'd like to address it to the Mr. Onudu at the cabinet. You may have heard my earlier question, Senator Alvarado. Would the cabinet be able to do some type of portal where maybe in Dr. Berg's case, somebody could log on quickly and maybe e-sign an affidavit with these 4 exceptions listed so that it would be easier for someone to comply with this? Because, I mean, I think the last thing is what we want is for people like Dr. Berg and Senator Turner who are, or my father-in-law, who act in good faith and just seasonally use their cars, but are trying to be, watch their pennies, which is a good thing, be economically efficient. Would that be something that would be hard to set up at the cabinet?
Senator Weaver, thanks for the question. Currently, we can do that. I'm not technically savvy, but in our website, we have various affidavits that individuals use now that relates to transactions with vehicles. So we can develop a form, and we can work towards that in conjunction with our IT groups to make sure that we have that on our website.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Any further questions? This time I'd entertain a motion to pass Senate Bill 49 as amended by the committee substitute. We've got a motion. Second. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Berg. Senator Embry. Senator Hornback. Senator Smith. Senator Turner.
Cast your vote and explain.
I'm going to vote aye based upon the good grace of everybody wanting to work and get a bill that's suitable through. I mean, I look at the farmer who never takes a piece of his vehicle out on nowhere except the farm property, but when you pay the taxes on that vehicle and you pay the upkeep and all that, but you're never going to have it on a roadway, that's the person's, and there's others that I'm interested in. So I'm going to vote aye so we can try to work on it and get affidavits in those forms where they can get them at the clerk's office or on the internet and get it done properly. Thank you.
Senator Wheeler.
Aye.
Senator Wilson. Senator Wise.
Aye.
Senator Yates. Senator Higdon. Chairman Storm.
Aye.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 to 0.
On 10 to 0, Senate Bill 49 as amended by the committee substitute will be reported favorably. Same shall pass. Thank you. Now we have Senate Bill 98. Senator, please identify yourself for the record, and the floor is yours. Senator, I'm sorry. Can you make sure your microphone's on?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is John Schickel. I serve in the Kentucky State Senate, and it's an honor to be before your committee today. I can't find my short letter. There it is. Excuse me. On September 27th, Mr. Chairman and members of this committee, of this year, I was notified, I think I actually saw media accounts, that the governor planned on closing the road. We call it the road between the Annex and the Capitol, and I think most members are aware of the road I'm talking about. And I wrote the governor this letter. I said, "Dear Governor Beshear, it's come to my attention that your administration plans on closing the road between the Capitol building and the Capitol Annex for security reasons. This would be a mistake. Kentucky has the most beautiful state capitol in the nation. During my past 12 years serving in the legislature, I often hear from constituents how much they enjoy visiting our state capitol. One reason they enjoy it so much is because of the easy access compared to the nation's capital in Washington, D.C. Seniors especially enjoy visiting the Capitol in the springtime when they can drive around the Capitol and see the gorgeous tulips, the floor clock, rose garden without getting out of their cars. In the wintertime, they enjoy the same experience with the beautiful Christmas decorations that adorn the state Capitol Annex, the Capitol and Annex, and Governor's Mansion. Closing this road would severely restrict this experience for our seniors. Often, citizens express their First Amendment rights to petition their government by forming caravans, whether it be using beer trucks, milk trucks, school buses, signs adorned with loudspeaker, and what have you. Personally, as a state legislature, I've enjoyed this experience interacting with the constituents who agree and disagree with us. Ending this Kentucky political tradition, I think, would also be a mistake. As a retired federal law enforcement officer and local police officer, I respect the recommendations of the Security Task Force and the federal law enforcement partners. And it's not in the letter, but I would point out to you that the member of the Senate that was on this task force has signed on as a co-sponsor of this bill. However, security concerns must always be balanced with the need for an open government in a representative republic. Security concerns can be achieved by other means by closing this vital road, and I will not go into detail without closing this vital road, but I also have some recommendations as far as that's concerned. In conclusion, I would like to thank you for your leadership during these challenging times, and I look forward to your response in this matter. And I received a quick response from the governor, and I'm grateful for that. I have the letter, and I'm going to submit both letters for the record. But he basically just politely said he disagreed with me on the matter and thanked me for communicating with him. There's one other thing I'd like to just add. And as a state senator, I have really enjoyed, I call them adult field trips, where I have people from my district come down and visit the state capitol. And I usually do it during their interim. And it's amazing the turnout I have, and most of them are senior citizens. Most of them are senior citizens. We come down to the Capitol, and many of them can't get out of their cars. It's amazing, and choose not to get out of their cars. So I think that's something maybe that the governor didn't think of. I know he cares the seniors much like I do. So that is the bill, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee.
Are there any questions on the bill? Senator Wheeler?
Senator Schickel, I want to thank you for bringing this bill. I agree with everything you just said, and although I do understand the need for security, that there is a balance to be struck in protecting our individual freedoms, and I think we have seen the pendulum swing a little bit too far towards security in the last several years. We see a fence go up around the governor's mansion. We see this road go off, and it really. We see more locks on the annex and the Capitol. The annex tunnels now blocked off. So there's a lot of different. I guess even the Capitol gift shop that used to be in there is now closed. So I see these things as very sad and very unfortunate. And I think there are things that we do need to, as the representatives of the people, to give voice to their concerns, to let them know that we have an open government. I really want to thank you for bringing this bill. And, to the extent that, there's some security concerns, with the road being open in between the Capitol and the Annex, I guess I would just point out that, there's a road that's still open that goes right out around behind the annex, kind of where my office is located. So, I guess maybe he doesn't care as much about me. I don't know. I'm just teasing. I know that's a joke. But all that being said, I do appreciate you bringing this bill. I think it complies with and supports the intent of our founders and our drafters of our state constitution to have an open government, and I proudly support this bill.
Thank you. The only thing I would add, Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I would like to submit the letters for the record to the governor and from the governor.
Any further questions on the bill? Oh, Senator Byrd.
Thank you, sir. Was this part of a series of recommendations that were made to improve security around the site, or where did this come from?
Well, that it's kind of hard to find that out. I did a little digging, and you hear different versions. But that's true with most things around here. But the letter refers to a recommendation from the Security Task Force, but when I talked to at least to the Senate member of the Security Task Force, he informed me that it was never the recommendation to close that road, at least in his mind. And that and this bill, if you read this bill does provide for them to close the road if they need to. If there's an emergency or the road needs to be closed, obviously we need to close it. But that was never the intention. The other thing is when I talked to Senate leadership about it, they said that the meeting where this was actually decided with the governor's representation, there was no elected state senator or state representative at that meeting. It was just simply staff, which troubled me a bit. But I think everyone's acted in good faith. It's like Senator Wheeler so eloquently said. I think this is part of a larger issue and of your philosophy of government and whether it should be opened or closed. And but obviously, too, Senator, we do need to balance security concerns because there are security concerns.
We have a motion on the bill. Do we have a second? Second. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Byrd,
Explain my vote, please.
Please cast your vote and explain.
Thank you. I am going to vote aye, but I will tell you guys, you are giving me really hard issues this morning. And I mean it. I mean it. I agree that you want government to be open and you want to make sure that everybody feels like they have access to these buildings. I think that is essentially important. On the other hand, you do have to weigh the risks. And, in my world, particularly in our Jewish congregations, we've had things like this for years and years and years, where you can't drive up too close to the building and you can't, there's reasons to do that. So I hope I'm making the right decision, and thank you.
Senator Embry, Senator Hornback,
I'd like to explain my aye vote, Mr. Chairman.
Please cast your vote and explain.
As a senator that now represents Franklin County, I really appreciate the senator from Boone getting one of my roads open, and I just encourage him to work in the future to help me on my road projects and get those through. And this is a good bill, and there does need to be a balance, and I think this bill is exactly on target. Thank you.
Senator Smith,
Explain my aye vote.
Please cast your vote and explain.
Yeah, I cast an aye vote and just appreciate the senator bringing us to us. I also I was concerned about this originally because of ADA standards for the American Disability having access. And if you walk around that building, it'd be rather difficult for one of our veterans or elderly or someone with a medical condition and has to be helped or in a chair to really get all the way around to be able to get in to participate in their government. So coming in the front of that Capitol is not easy. So certainly appreciate what you're trying to do. And I always felt like it probably wasn't in compliance anyhow, but people should have access to their Capitol.
Senator Turner,
Explain my aye vote, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, please.
I vote aye. I appreciate this bill, and I also agree with what's previously been said. And as a American veteran, this is not Iran or Afghanistan or somewhere where we got to be in a secured post. This is America, freedom, controls, and the public has a right to be here. There are, what you said, times when it might need to be secured, but I'm proud to vote aye and support this bill fully.
Senator Wheeler.
Mr. Chairman, explain my aye vote.
Yes, please.
I want to just commend this great bipartisan show of openness that we've seen here in this committee today, especially Senator Berg, knowing what the Jewish people have suffered through the years, her commitment to open government, and Senator Schickel's longstanding commitment to open government and freedom. I think that this bill really does send the right message that that Frankfurt is your capital, and we welcome you here.
Senator Wilson. Senator Wise.
Aye.
Senator Yates. Senator Higdon. Chairman Storm.
Aye. On a vote of 9-0, Senate Bill 98 will be reported favorably. Same shall pass. Thank you. Just some housekeeping matters. Anyone that came in late that may have missed a vote, would you like to cast any votes before we conclude? Yes. I vote on both.
Say specifically for the record. Which bill?
Senate Bill 91 and Senate Bill 119.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to record an aye vote for Senate Bill 91 and for Senate Bill 119 for the record.
Thank you. Senator Berg, I vote for 119.
Okay.
No further business.
She voted for 119.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Do we have a motion to adjourn? Second. We are adjourned. Thank you.